Hi, and welcome to this training video on setting up your document and task lists that you will be using in RealtyAPX. So let's go ahead. First thing you'll need to do is click on Setup right under the name of the admin or broker. Once you're in Setup, you'll see we have three different sections of setup. What we're focusing on right now is B, setup transactions. So the first thing that you will do is click on define your property cell type accounts. So once we've clicked on that, you'll be brought to this screen. Cells types are any cells type that you use in your specific industry or location. So you'll have short cells, residential cells. If you want to add a cells type that is not included in the default cells types that are listed, you will click Create New Record, and you will fill out the specific name and click Save. You can also create and add any new property types. So if there are specific property types that are not included in this list, you can do the same thing, add new record, click Save once you've filled that in. The next step in creating your doc list will be this button right here. Click Create, Edit Your Doc Lists. Now that we are in here, you'll see that there's a number of default doc lists that are in here. We have a residential, REO, commercial. So what you'll need to do is make sure that all of the doc lists that you use in your specific business are here. If you want to edit one, you can click Edit Name, or you can just add a new one, whatever you feel is the most convenient for you. But what you'll need to do is go into Edit Doc List, and once you are in a doc list, you will need to set each specific document list or document name to the correct settings. This will be your checklist. So if I have a residential doc list that I've set up, which I'll show you in a minute, that corresponds with a residential cell type, whenever I select the residential cell type, this document list will automatically appear. So what you'll need to do for each specific document, click on this settings button right here, and you will need to select when you want this document to be viewed by the agent. So if you have the checklist of the residential cell type selected and the agent is representing the buyer, if you select that, this document will appear. If you do the seller, same, and you can go through each one of those. The listing checklist is equivalent to the sales checklist, and the deal checklist is the buyer checklist. And then if you want this document to be required for the agent, so that will mean they'll have to upload this document before they can submit a property to the broker, select Make This a Required Document. You can also see there's the form and the template fields. Another video will go into that, but that is the integration with signature and form filling. So if you want to know more about that, you can go and watch that video. Once you have created and edited your doc list so that they're set up correctly, you'll have the option to create your own task list. These task lists are used for agent convenience. So if you have different task lists that you want them to remember to do, you can go in. If you click on residential, for example, a residential task list, you'll have these default different tasks that they will be able to go in and check off once they've completed. So you can add to these and make these customizable to your needs. And the last thing that you'll need to do is assign each doc list that we just made or task list to the cell type. Like I explained before, once you have a that you have selected in a transaction, so if I selected a residential cell type and I want the residential doc list and task list to appear, based on that, you're going to need to map these. So when you first go in here, there won't be anything in here, but you'll need to go and click the cell type. So if I have a residential lease, then I want a residential lease checklist. Right now I don't have one, so I could add one, but we'll go ahead and just click residential. So this is the doc list I want corresponding with the residential lease. And then you can select a task list if you desire to do that. That will be associated with that as well. So then you'll click Add, and this is how you're going to map each cell type to correspond with a doc and a task list. You can see it's right here. And to summarize, the reason why this is important to do this setup before you get into any transactions is because if you see here, I will go to a transaction. After clicking on the transactions button, if I want to create a new transaction, and then I click Add, you'll see that right now my document list is empty. In order to fill those with the specific documents that are correct, you'll need to select what the agent represents, and that once again corresponds with that doc setup that we were doing. So if I said the buyer's agent, now all of the ones that are the documents that are specifically checked for showing up when the agent represents a buyer will appear. And then you'll need to select the specific checklist. So this is the cells type. So if I wanted to do a residential cell, I'll select that. And then these will automatically populate for the documents that we've selected. So in this deal checklist, I have selected in the doc setup each of these documents to appear. This video should help you to begin in your setup of the doc and your task lists. And if you have any questions, you can contact us and we will love to help you out. Thank you.